So good evening, everyone, and welcome to our PMI Germany chapter local group Darmstadt session. I am Elmira Hasanovic, and it's nice to see you here tonight. Our topic, Build Scalable, they said. We optimize perfect ways, how the service maturity framework brings clarity and alignment, will be presented by our guest speaker, Stefan Miteski, who will guide us through this insightful topic. I hope you can all see my presentation. About agenda, first 10 minutes, I will say something about suggested conduct, then PMI Germany chapter, then something about our local group Darmstadt. I will also introduce Stefan. Then 1 hour and 10 minutes, Stefan will give us his presentation, and also you can ask if you have something. And at the end, we would like to receive some feedback from you. We will give some information about next events. Also, we will send PDU claim code about some conduct guidelines. I would like to say that it would be good to mute your microphone during this session, that you need to use your full name to help us to identify your PDUs. You can feel free to turn on your video if you like. Of course, you can use your chat window to ask questions, comments, or to share your LinkedIn link for networking. You're also welcome to contact Stefan directly with any follow-up questions. This session will be recorded, and it's allowed only to the organized to record this session. Now, before we get started, let me give you a short introduction to our chapter. The PMI Germany chapter was established in 2020 as a result of the merger of 4 existing chapters. The PMI Frankfurt chapter, established back in 1988, was in fact, very first PMI chapter in Europe. Today, the Germany chapter brings together more than 11,000 PMI members, including nearly 4,000 professionals representing 43 different countries, with around 150 active volunteers. Our purpose is to inspire leadership and to promote continuous learning. And about, we are here in Darmstadt, our local group. We are in this central region. Related to our local group Darmstadt, we serve as the English-speaking community, a diverse network of volunteers from 6 different countries. Every month we host 2 free online session open to everyone, and once a month we have 1 round table face-to-face that we organize in Darmstadt. When we first started, more than 3,100 participants have joined our events. Over 100 of them have attended 10 or more sessions. Our conversation, of course, don't end with the events too. On LinkedIn, our network of almost 500 members continues to share ideas. And behind of all this activity stands a team of our volunteers. That is Thomas Valenta, who is from Bad Kreuznach, Florian Adrian, who is our team lead from France, but he's based in Darmstadt. Mohammed Razi, originally from Afghanistan, also based in Darmstadt. Tufik Habli, he's from Beirut, from Lebanon. Olja Stefanovska, she's based in Stuttgart, from North Macedonia. Maria Robi, originally from North Macedonia, currently based in Brussels. And myself, Elmira Hasanovic, originally from Montenegro and currently living in Bittelborn near Darmstadt. And we are very happy to have you here tonight. Now I will introduce Stefan. He's a product leader and entrepreneur with more than 15 years of experience. He thrives on the crossroad of entrepreneurship, tech services, and empowering inspired teams. He's a product owner of the Mercedes-Benz global insurance platform. Stefan is former product owner at TeamViewer, a founder of Systems of Enterprise, and a product coach. He publishes in prominent tech publications like InfoQ and Adeva. And now, Stefan, thank you very much because you will be our speaker tonight. It is my pleasure that I'm moderator for this presentation, and I believe that we will enjoying. So,
thanks a lot. I'm very eager. I'm very eager to start. I'm very eager to share. I'm very eager to get feedback. This is the first public presentation of the service maturity framework. Within the companies where I work, we've already discussed it, but this is the first public one. So I'm really happy to present this today, and I'm really happy to get your feedback. The core question that we are trying to answer together is when we have a lot of people yelling and a lot of different teams, a lot of different stakeholders, a lot of different perspectives, screaming, how do you make a decision? How do you decide what actually matters? And not politically, not emotionally, but systematically. And by the end of this talk, I hope that we are going to find a language for that, and you will see how you can use this framework without buying any tool, without reorganizing something in the organization dramatically, and without begging for budget. So I will skip my next slide because thanks to Almira, she already introduced me. And I've been in a lot of meetings where we have completely different perspectives, people looking at the same product, but discussing something very differently. And for me, the one of those meetings, one of the workshops that we were having, we had offsite in a remote place where I'm coming from a place where my friends have all these gadgets for coffee. I have coffee aficionados as friends, and when we say to somebody, "Hey, can you make 10 coffees?" we have certain level of expectations. What actually happened is this person was from a part of the world where tea is actually a prominent drink, and we saw something which was really different one from what we were expecting. So the person gathered all the requirements from everybody. How much sugar do you want? How much milk do you want? And created something like this. So although this hit all the requirements, so everybody got the coffee they asked for. Although everybody was although the person did it faster than everybody was expecting, something was off. And this tells us, the story tells us that there is a lot of hidden assumptions that we have whenever we work with somebody, and we forget that different stakeholders are coming from different background and different mindset and have different expectations based on that. So when we align together, we have to align on these assumptions. We have to erase as much as possible these assumptions and come together. And it was really nice that we had this happening on that workshop, because later that opened started opening these questions, how we move further by not assuming anything. And why I'm presenting this, for me, very important point where you have to align is the moment when you switch from MVP to from minimum viable product. So you started a startup, let's say you started a new initiative in your company, you started some pilot project where you were trying to find out if the customers will really need this, if there is really somebody willing to pay for this, if there was a product market fit. That was the highest risk that basically your company or your organization had at that moment. Then you validated this, you realized, okay, yeah, there is actually risk, there is somebody who wants to pay. And there is one moment of time in which everything looks really nice. Sales are saying, okay, we can sell this more. Why should we now wait and pause in time? And On the other hand, the engineering was doing a lot of shortcuts. They were cutting corners in order to get there to build this Potemkin village in order to present something which has a really nice facade, but it actually doesn't have to be so nice. And this is, I call it MVP depth. So it's not purely a technical depth, it's also depth of organization. And when you hire now a lot of new people, you have to organize your processes quite differently. So it's not purely a perspective topic. It's not purely two people looking at the same number and saying this is 6 or this is 9. It's about people focusing on different aspects of the same thing. So production can be production ones that we have to move as fast as possible. The product management wants to ship new features because the salesperson is saying, if we ship only this feature, we are going to close this and that client. Engineering is saying, hey, we have so much technical debt, we cannot, a lot of these things are duct taped, we cannot move as we are moving. We have to pause, we have to restructure something. And operation is saying, hey guys, there is a lot of things failing, we have to reorganize, and everybody is just yelling and there is no alignment. Everybody is looking at different perspectives, and this is what we are going to try to answer today. So now is the part where I actually want to ask questions. Has anybody of you been in such a situation? So startup going to scale up, or a project which was a pilot that at some point of time needed to got a budget and was able to grow in the next stage. Feel free to turn on your camera. Feel free to speak, or you can also write. It's also fine. Christopher.
Yeah, I can say absolutely. Yeah. So, and I've been in. So it is. What we are doing is IT product development in a company that does clinical trials, and we have had large projects that were also, of course, the expectation and the pressure was high, and what we told the stakeholders and the perception of the stakeholders was partially very different from how the developers perceived what they were doing. That's right.
So I'm now curious. Did you resolve this, or what was the problem that you? How did you resolve this problem, basically?
Yeah, I would say we delivered at the end, but the technical debt we didn't fully resolve. So we still, let's say, we still have to face and have to deal with the, let's say, remainders of these technical debts. So this is something that takes us longer now than the original project was.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? I will assume that most of you would be familiar with the term OKRs. Basically, back in Intel, they invented this way of aligning strategically, that we have one common direction for everybody in the company, and that we trickle down the goals to different departments or different teams. And this is really nice way to propagate the strategy, to understand how you fit in the bigger picture and where the company should be moving. OKRs, for me, are one of the best ways to align, without a question. And they answer a lot of things, how we should move, but not everything. So for me, the next chapter is OKRs is somehow a compass. OKRs is somehow giving us a direction, giving us where we should get. But there is one piece which is missing, and this is what we are trying to answer today, and this is where we are at the moment. Because what we've just heard is that there was a technical debt, but not every stakeholder understood this technical debt. There might be operational issues if these people who are working in operations are not hurt, you might not be realizing that you should be fixing them. So the service maturity gives you a map. It gives you where you are at every single point of time. And this is what we are trying to build today. And the drift can happen because of a lot of things. The drift can happen because business might expect that just because the facade looked nice, we can keep shipping, we can keep selling, even though we, as said before, we built something super fast, we duct tape a lot of things just so that we can get there to that moment of time in that sales moment where we were sure that we are going to get the budget. Then engineering might be falling in love in some pet projects and over optimize something that should not exist at all. This is Elon Musk's quote that engineers are really good at optimizing something that should not exist in the first place. And there is also other perspectives. I mean, if not everybody is incentivized to go to this common goal, if they are working for a salary and they don't see how they're affected by the success of the company, or they're not inspired, they also might be doing resume-driven development, meaning as a developer, I would be playing around with what seems to be interesting for me, what technology seems to be popular at this moment, so that I can put it in my CV, and next time when I apply for the next job, I have this technology. So there is a lot of reasons why the drift should be there, but the core idea today that we are going to do is really to take every single service that we have, every single business capability that we have in our journey. So when we start building our solution, we already have some sort of journey that we are modeling. And in that journey, we have a lot of steps. For example, you have to authenticate. So there is a login page where you go in a web solution and you log in, you authenticate yourself. There is other piece where you're selecting something or searching something. So we are going to go in a more concrete examples later, but what I'm trying to say is the mental unlock is that you have to categorize in 3 categories all these business capabilities. You have to make a decision in which, what is your function of optimization, where you have to be the best company in the world. This is the key. And once you know where you have to be the best company in the world, what is the functionality in your software solution? I'm talking about software solutions now, so excuse me, the other ones who are not purely in software solutions, but it can transcribe to other fields. You have to make sure where you are going to be the best in the world, and then optimize every solution of every functionality which is related to that. So we are going to have one column which is related to our unique value proposition, to the place where we are going to be best in the world. Then the second bucket, or the second placeholder, would be functionalities in which we should be just okay. We should not fall below some minimum standard. So we are within certain constraints. What does it mean? We should be GDPR compliant. We should be, I don't know if we're doing something else, we should be compliant with other regulatives like SOC 2, etc. We should be, our speed of the, for example, if it's a website, the speed should be, I don't know, the loading time should be within 500 milliseconds. So there are different types of constraints that we have to meet. And those constraints are, this bucket would be the constraint bucket. The third bucket is defer. And what do you mean by defer? I mean, this is something that you can either, it can be paused and it can wait, or you can completely outsource it. When I say outsource, it doesn't mean always just to hire people from externally. It also can mean that you're using third-party libraries, that you're using some pre-cooked solutions from somebody else. So we have open source projects that we can just incorporate, or we can just buy the service and you build on top of a standard. So if I'm in most of the cases, I don't have to be the best company in building login. In most of the cases, login would be something which would be something that I don't care about a lot. Of course, there might be some special cases where I need to think of some special scenarios, but in most of the cases, I can just go and buy what is the standard out there and use the standard because I'm not building the best login in the world. I'm focusing on what my solution is, where we have to be the best. So far so good. Does this idea resonate with you? Did you do something similar to this? So Wordly mapping or Kano or some other initiative in this direction? So there is Kano method, which was quite popular in late 80s, early 90s. Wordly maps came up around 5 to 10 years ago. They're talking about similar concepts to this. And all of them are really valid and really good. Doesn't matter how you are going to clusterize your business capabilities. What matters is that you have to clusterize them, because then we can go to the next step. Basically, building any software solution, but building any project is basically constraint engineering. It's about trade-offs. It's about how much risk you can carry. It's about how much where you're going to be the best. And I'm going to be very pragmatic with this. Probably you've heard about Frederick the Great, and his quote was, "He who defends everything defends nothing." One of the best basketball players of all times, Steph Curry. This is his stats. If you look at it, he's really good three-point shooter and he's really good at handling the ball. And these two stats, he's best in class. I would say this is something that nobody else was able to compete with him. Was he good at dunking? Was he good at something else? No, but he was best at these two things, and he was so good that he was basically unguardable. And this is what I'm trying to say. If you have to be best in class in certain dimensions, in certain features of your product, and you don't have to be best everywhere else. You don't have. It's okay if you're above 25 in a lot of fields, for example, dunking and etc. You don't have to be above 25 in stealing, etc. So it's a basketball player, but it's a very powerful analogy that reminds us not to create some sort of policies in which just because something failed last week on production, management now says you have to now go and implement regression tests on all your services, on all your business capabilities, on all your functionalities. Why? Because we are going to discuss now in more details about it, but it's important that what matters is really well covered. It's not important that everything is super well covered. It's not important that your login functionality is really well documented or really well tested if you're using something which is industry standard. Now I need your feedback. So we came to the moment when we are clustering things into 3 buckets. I need your feedback now. Can you tell me what type of, so give me your domain and how you would maybe in your organization cluster your business functionalities? I mean, if you guys are not talking to me, I will be asking questions from the group. But
shy, you can write in the chat, of course.
yeah, Frau Dauer mentioned mine is to optimize strategic differentiators. Can you maybe speak up? Can you maybe share your opinion? What would be a strategic? I'm interested. Like, what is your domain, and what would be the strategic differentiator?
Yes. So for me, it's I'm in product management, and mine to optimize is the strategic outlook, how to optimize in the terms of how to positioning the product in the general industry.
But what domain? I mean, which company you would work just to make it more plastic, just to make it more real? What like?
It's an industrial product for a vision system.
Okay. I'll just give two examples from two past companies. For example, I'm in this moment I'm working in Mercedes-Benz insurance platform, and for us it's very important that it's very easy for the customer to enter all the insurance required details. So for us, cognitive effort is something that we strive to reduce as much as possible. Everything which adds cognitive effort, we try to remove. And that would be counterintuitive from insurance perspective, where your insurer would like to ask you as much questions as possible. On the other hand, for example, in TeamViewer, we were trying to optimize for everything which makes the connection to be faster. So TeamViewer is used in the space, and there is very bad or very limited connection for TeamViewer, and we were looking for cutting everything which is adding fluff and everything which is overloading the communication channels. We were trying to have as lean as fast communication as possible. So we were optimizing by that. So those are functions of optimization. So basically, this is like linear programming in mathematics. You have one function optimization where you want to be the best in the world in this functionality, in this dimension. You have then certain constraints because you have to cluster your services in that area. So maybe to show you what I was using as a communication channel. So Almira, you have question? Please go ahead.
Yes, I just would like maybe to give some comment because I'm from construction industry, and when you are talking about this, I'm always at construction site. So if I can say how we can maybe apply this at the construction site, some example. For example, if we have construction site and at the start we have some initial phase where processes are informal, not defined, where maybe worker handle problems as they arise without any defined procedures. Then we have, for example, repeatable this some processes that exist and but still not standardized. Then we all these processes that happen at construction sites we may be documented and then standardized, and we can apply them when they later repeat. And after that, how we manage all this, and at the end, how we will optimize all these procedures. So maybe it will make us made some easier situation at construction site for us, how we will handle problems, what we will measure, maybe how this timeline how work is going, our schedule, and these things.
Yeah, but I wanted to go more how to say pragmatic or more practical or more tangible. So imagine you're building a house, and if your function of optimization is cost, you would build it very differently than if your function of optimization is speed. So if you try to build a house as fast as possible, you will be building it differently. You will be using different materials. You would be hiring more people maybe in certain phases, and certain phases have constraints. For example, the foundation have to dry for 2 weeks, for example. and because of there is a DIN standard that you have to follow, etc. So those are your constraints, and this is regardless if you have 10 people or 20 people, 2 weeks have to pass by. How I'm trying to communicate this with my stakeholders usually is I build a lean canvas model. So probably you've heard of there is a lot of different canvas models, but ways to capture your business. For me, this lean canvas model has a couple of very important things, and this is the unfair advantage, the metrics, what are our users, of course, the channels, etc. So it has different sections which make sure that every stakeholder understands the whole picture on a very high level. Because sometimes it happens the developer says, I don't care about business. I'm here just to develop. It can happen in any type of project, right? But if we align on the big picture, first of all, then I'm engaging them to say, okay, how your architecture, how your software architecture is going to enhance this business model. What is going to be your decisions, your architectural solutions, which are paying into the strategy? So by trying to engage the developers as early as possible, even on this type of slide, I'm trying to do this by defining the dimensions that are important for us. In this example, I went to reliability, quality, etc. And we can say overall where we have to be. I would say for each service or for each functionality, we can play this game, and this is very useful to play this game or to align this on every functionality, because that answers later where we have to be best. So just to make it for example, for a car, in the Kano model is another way how to align it. You're saying there is basic functionalities. So for example, the car has to drive from point A to point B. That means that I am expecting some wheels, I'm expecting some lights, I'm expecting some motor, etc. Then there is functionalities which are more or better. So the more the car is efficient, the better. The more the car is safe is better. There is third type of functionalities which are the lighters. So basically, this is the sunroof. This is anything that I would say is Instagrammable. Everything that is exciting enough so that people can talk about it. This definitely helps us to align on every certain aspect of the project, and then we can invest disproportionately on what where we actually optimize. So we are going to spend much more time. We are going to hire more people. We are going to organize in a way that we are going to invest in those services. So I'm not going to dwell now because of time on what constraints matters means. Here, boring is good. Stability beats novelty. We really try to stay the guardrail. So here we are hiring whatever the industry standard is. And the defer means that we outsource or buy this type of service. So what I'm trying to say here, sorry, something got away. What I'm trying to say here is for every service, so here you might be confused, what is this now authentication service, what is this claims API, doesn't matter. What matters is these are two different services, and these two different services have different dimensions that we look at. We're going to dive deeper into these dimensions, but I just want to ensure that we are on the same page on the first, chapter of this presentation, and that is that we are going to split everything into buckets, and these buckets are now helping us how to define metrics for each one of the business functionalities that we are doing. Any comments, questions so far on how to do this? Okay. Now I might, if you don't ask questions, I might lose some of you because I might be talking too technical in terms of IT terms. But feel free to interrupt me. Feel free to ask in the chat box, and we are going to unpack everything which is unclear. Authentication service we mentioned. This is the login functionality. Not just login, but forget your passport, adding users to certain roles, etc. So everything which has authentication and authorization basically could also be in one single service. So everything which is about management rights and privileges of users and who can see what. And in this example, this is really good overview. This is really good. Everything is green. Business maturity is yellow. What did we do? We went into the previous slide. So we went into that matrix, and we defined for each service, as we said, what actually means that something is green. Here, what means that something is green? If it's between these two, it's green. For each one of these dimensions, we can discuss what actually means to be green and what actually means to be yellow and what actually means to be red. We don't have to do this very thoroughly. We don't have to plug in metrics right away. We don't have to plug in Jira right away just to align on business, how to say, high terms, high level terms, because even this manual exercise, in my experience, gave me a lot of perspective. This technical depth is not visible, and it's not. And sometimes now the developers would be saying, "But you know, we have so much technical depth in this functionality, we have to sit down and optimize it." But also, on the other hand, there is a business maturity, which means maybe we don't have to optimize it because maybe this is something that we are going to change. So let's expand one by one. First of all, time to market. It means that how fast we can ship certain things. There are different ways how to measure it, but it's not about how the moment when I came up with the idea, but the moment when I prioritize it, put it into the, if we are working in Agile, put it into the sprint. So allocated the team that needs to start working on it, and align that they are going to start from that moment till the moment then it went to production. So basically that's our time to market. Then operational excellence. For each one of those, I've opened, we can choose many different signals that we can use. What is important in choosing the signals is that they are not lagging indicators, so meaning we need some indication which is giving us in the real time where this service is going. As I said in the beginning, we can just put expert opinion here, but later we can plug in real numbers based on the tools that we are using. So operational excellence is about robustness. Engineering maturity is about, or the simplest way how to explain engineering maturity is how fast a new hire, new person who is joining the team can start working on it. So it captures different topics like how well it's documented, how well it's written. So technical depth can be in this direction. Maybe there are no alerts, etc. So how good this service is from engineering perspective in terms of how well how easy it can be maintained, how maintainable it is. Then we have service quality. It's about I mean, quality, we don't have to explain. It's about the predictability of the outcomes of the service. There are different signals that we can use in different contexts. I'm not going to go deeper into it right now. Business maturity is what it can have different perspectives. But here, if you are starting with this exercise, and if you want to quickly get results, here just ask the product management or the product people how likely is that this services or this business functionality is going to change. How likely we are looking into something something different than this? How likely are we going to change something? If we don't going to change something, that most likely it's green. There are different perspectives. One is maybe organizational alignment, strategical alignment, etc. In our case here, authentication service is all good, but business maturity is yellow. In this case, we are part of a bigger organization. When we were implementing our solution, we implemented some third-party authentication. Later, we learned that there is a corporate standard that we have to follow. So we have to re-implement some new authentication service. But it's not red because it's important to follow the corporate standards, but also not urgent. So in this case, I'm not going to prioritize work right away on this authentication service, but I can also already, when I click View Actions in my dashboard, I can already create a ticket and align it and put it to this perspective. Claims API in this case is another service. So in my case, it would be, for example, insurance. Somebody is filing a claim. Operational excellence means that for some reason, when they were filing a claim, a lot of times it was not successful. So something was on operational side, something was off. There was a lot of unsuccessful attempts to do so. And time to market is slow, but not critical. Service quality is not also critical. And architectural gravity, I didn't mention what it means. We'll now explain. Is also yellow. So here we can clearly see that we have to prioritize the operational excellence. We have to start working on this. Is this confusing as a concept, or do you follow me? I really need your feedback because...
Yeah. Sorry, I have a question again. Could you please explain to me again architectural gravity? I didn't get it. What you really mean?
Yeah. Fair point. I didn't explain it well. I didn't explain it at all, I think. It's about if this fails, if this functionality fails, how much other functionalities would be affected. It can be a backend functionality, something which is not visible to the user, but affects a lot of other things. And if this fails, a lot of different things fail. So in our case, authentication service is very visible and very business completely unimportant, but has a higher architectural gravity. If this fails, we know that we are in a bad moment. So for each one of them, there is different signals that we can measure, and I can share with you some sort of material later that you can look at some practical advices. But what is important for me is how we govern this. So we mentioned there was one moment of time in which we were discussing. We were discussing for each business functionality what actually green means, or what actually red means. So red in one place is not the same as red in another place. Some service can load for 500 milliseconds, and some other it's completely okay to be longer than 5 seconds. For example, if you write in Google and ask something, you expect in 200 milliseconds to get a result. In ChatGPT, if you write the same thing, it's completely okay that you wait 3 seconds. You're already expecting to wait a little bit longer. So the same user activity can mean in different functionalities, different thresholds, and it's completely okay to have it based on the previous discussion that we had, based on these 3 buckets and based on the initial alignment that we had. So this matters because we can more clearly see the bottlenecks. It clarifies the bottlenecks. It clarifies where we over investing in something which is not super important. So it's trying to catch that trap, and it's also trying to unravel the hidden risk, the things that nobody talks about, that it's absolutely that can really wreck us if we didn't work, if we didn't look at it. So not every critical service needs elite engineering, and context decides the bar. Critical must be doesn't have to be perfect. Critical must be the right standard for its role. This is what I want you to catch from this part of the presentation. So now we are going to go again a little bit deeper in each one of the dimensions. But before we do so, I just want to make sure that we are on the same page. So can you tell me an example of something that you over-engineered, that was completely unnecessarily over-engineered, and that and maybe why it was like that? So over-investment trap. Have you been there? Have you seen something like that? What about hidden risk? Something that you completely didn't expect it, but it happened and slowed down the progress of the project or the product quite significantly. Oля?
And this can happen actually in the engineering world, that something unexpected happen. Personally, I didn't see this, but my colleague that was working on a project, they started digging up the house, started digging out in the soil, and just their luck, they found another water underneath not the soil. So the thing was that the good thing was that they were insured in that time, but the difficult part was that they had to hire special mechanics so the water can be sucked. Then they had to do a study whether the soil was stable again, and afterwards it prolonged the project because they couldn't start with the foundations or anything. Okay, so this cost money. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll tell you one story, so I will skip the explanation. I will send you the presentation later with all the notes. So I will skip the presentation about each dimension because we touched them already. We are going to, I cannot legally use any real examples from a company that I was working from, but I can use examples which are really close to those, but with a different name. So basically, we are going to imagine that we are working in, all of us are working in the same company. It's called MedConnect. And what we are doing is telehealth. So we have 50 engineers, we have 15 services, and we are now in preparing for a Series B. So we've already been established as a startup. We've already been making money, but now we want to raise really the bar and to get even bigger and to start going in maybe in different markets. So we have aggressive growth targets. We have real revenue. We have real risks. We have also real chaos. And now I'll walk you through how we use this framework to make 3 decisions based on visibility it provided. So the problem that we had is that on Friday, the competitor launched instant specialist booking. So it was something that we were planning to do exactly. We were planning the exact flow by the end of the quarter. But when we, over the weekend, saw the competitor, we were super surprised that they beat us to the market. And the management came in Monday and started yelling, we have to hire more engineers, we are really slow. But one of us, so Henning, mentioned that, let's say he was a platform lead, started analyzing, started looking at our dashboard, started looking at the service maturity dashboard and noticed something. We are really slow in time to market. And why? He opened even deeper and saw the signals. It turned out that our code review is really slow. Code review means that as a developer, when you're trying to push your code, when you're trying to merge your work into the common work, there is a concept where there is a principle of 4 eyes. Somebody else needs to review it and somebody else needs to approve it. In our company, the average code review time was 8 hours. Why? Because when we started, we had one CTO, which was basically a co-founder, which was really smart, and he wanted to look at every code to make sure it's quality enough. In our case, this person became a bottleneck. In the beginning, it was okay. The hero culture was completely okay. We were doing rollbacks manually. We were monitoring production by writing angry messages at Slack. And that worked when we were 10, 15 people. But now that we are 50 people, we have to build different processes and we have to have different levels of clarity. So once we started capturing the signals and once we started building this service maturity framework, we realized that there are 3 dimensions. In the 6 dimensions, there are certain patterns that we have to look at it. So there are several red lights that we had to look at. The doctor search service. So this is a key differentiator for us. So this is something that we have to be best in the world. In this one, we were slow to iterate. The time to market dimension was slow. And that was our strategic choke point. So we had to change it. So this was the code review that we noticed. So we changed the process. We introduced who can code review what, and things started moving. Then we had another service, which is AI diagnosis assistant. So we heard our CEO was flying. He read the article in a magazine. He said, hey, we have to put AI because our investors want to hear that we are an AI company. So we created AI diagnosis assistant. But unfortunately, it was so flaky. It was in operations creating so much problems that we started to lose trust. So we decided, okay, this is not our differentiator. We have to roll it back. We have to change, invest in operations, but also change the way we are doing this. And there was no argument. There was no politics. Everyone could see because we had a consistent, transparent process in which we make the decisions. After we started implementing different decisions, we decided, okay, we have a lot of people who are working on authentication service. We asked them, why are you doing this? We have to make it faster. The authentication now is this slow, etc. Once we saw that we went through that exercise and we saw what are the numbers today, and we asked the business, is this okay? They said this is completely okay, because some of the people who are working on this project previously worked in a project where certain constraint levels were much higher because this was much more important, and brought this engineering mindset with them in the new company. But they're not. It wasn't their fault. The fault was that we haven't brought the perspective of what is super important, what is not super important. There was a lot of people who were working on analytics service, and we just reorganized the solution that we said this is a deferred, this is a type of service where we don't have to be the best in the world. It's internal service. We have to know what is happening on our website, but it doesn't have to be the fanciest tool. We can just use some open source tool like Grafana. So by clustering everything, by building a visual tool to see how the different dimensions per business capability look like, we have now a governance process that every week or every 2 weeks, depending on your sprint, you're looking at this together as a company or organization, and then make a decision which team is responsible for which service. Based on that, every team takes this into their retrospective, looks at the signals which are contributing to these thresholds, and makes decision what actions they are going to make. It's important that the actions are actually tickets which are created for the next iteration. They have a due date, they have a responsibility person, and we tie everything together. So basically, we have a way to align what is important, what is not important. We have a way to constantly signal where we are with the dashboard, and we have a process in which we constantly improve where we are failing. So by implementing all these 3 aspects, basically we are solving the paradigm, we are solving the problem where we have to go. So as I said, we moved 2 engineers into from analytics to doctor search. We paused the new features for AI, and we fixed the reliability, basically removing a lot of fancy shining things, and paid attention to reliability, and we replaced the analytics service with the off-the-shelf tool. So basically, we outsourced it. And now we are in a very good position to go into the Series B target. So, because we are close to the finish line, I just want to summarize that we are on the same page. So, again, I would be really glad if I get a feedback from you. If you have questions, if you have something unclear, if you want to discuss how you can implement this in your organization. Thomas.
Hello, Stefan. Yeah, thank you very much for this presentation, and it's a really I think a little bit complex system, and you described it from your application, and I understand it's a new concept you developed for your company, and it's certainly helping. But I think some people, not from the industry and not with the language of IT, might have some problems to follow, the flow. So this is my impression, and but nevertheless, maybe I'm the only one who didn't get everything. Maybe what are others thinking, after this presentation? So. Who is able to speak up and give a feedback?
Yeah, actually, negative feedback is very useful where I can improve. What you didn't understood is something which I really appreciate, because that would allow me to communicate better next time.
Sure. So maybe I just if you don't speak up by yourself, maybe ask just somebody to give a short. Alexandra Brückner, do you want to speak up?
I'm sorry that I don't use the camera now. I had to because however, but I actually, sometimes I'm taking part in these sessions, and probably I cannot add too much, or not to give too much feedback, or not really apply. Sometimes it's not possible to really apply it to my working area, but still, in this presentation, I've got inspired by something. And what I would be excited about, there were 3 slides you didn't show for a long time. there was you explained the three words: optimization, constrain, and what was the fourth one? Before.
Yeah. Give me a second. Yeah.
You gave each topic these three, and you explained them on 3 slides afterwards, didn't you? Optimize, and then you had 3. Or did I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We define. Yeah.
So if you would show them to me, because I actually, yeah, exactly. I very much liked the definition. Yeah, this is something, this was a new use how to see these words, because of course, when you optimize something, you have to invest disproportionately. Of course, but I would have never expressed it like this. So I would like to catch each 3 pages, if you would show me them to me, and I, or I don't know, are you sending the materials around? I guess yes.
I
no?
will. Yeah.
So I will. Are these included or only some? Are these 3 pages included?
Yeah. I will send the whole
Good.
presentation, which
So I'll
actually has
anyway
more
will have
slides.
it. Yeah.
40
So you
something
see,
slides, but
and yeah, because here the boring is good. I very much like it because it's something routine. If you have a routine and what constraint really means, boring is very good because then you are faster in other things. So if you want to have a feedback from me to your presentation, it was a lot of information in a short time. And probably I would have been more involved if it would have been a physical meeting. For me, it's always when there is the recording on, I'm more shy to ask questions.
okay.
Yeah. And also, I don't like so much to have camera switched on then. That makes me, stay hidden a bit.
Good. Yeah.
But the
because I wasn't
content,
sure, did I lose you or didn't lose you, etc. But it's a good feedback. Good to know. Thank you.
yeah, and also I'm used to it that people switch off their cameras nowadays.
Okay.
I think it's very common, more and more. Yeah, so I don't think you have to take that personally. So I think this was enough feedback from my side now. Sorry, but you've asked.
Thanks a lot, Alexander. Very positive and constructive. I like it. Anybody else? Henning, what do you say?
Actually, I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe turn
What should
down
I
your
say?
microphone because we don't hear you.
Yeah.
What should I say? Yeah, I guess Stefan lost me at several times too.
Okay.
I'm not too far in the techniques, though I had some projects where service delivery was also a topic. I think it's there may be some breaks in between between techniques and tools and stuff, and then communicating via Slack. That was something that puzzled me a little. But yeah, it was not my home turf, so I can't say too much to the content that you showed to us. Maybe it would be better to consolidate a little to less content and more explanation, or going into the details with the spectators, so that they can imagine the world you are talking about.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
So no, not a criticism to you. You're deep into your stuff, but here in that round, I think you were amongst project managers and not service managers. So it is hard to adapt to your world from our world, and that takes more time and less content. That would be my feedback.
And higher an abstraction, level of abstraction. Yeah.
And maybe, I Thank you, Henning, for this candid feedback. And maybe so Stefan and I, we share the love for mathematics. And, I studied mathematics 50 years ago, and I understood that I never, ever was able to explain mathematical theories I had to other people. So that's a special challenge I had. And I'm not sure if that also contributed a little bit, given Stefan's background in mathematics.
Yeah. Or see the effort that people are doing from all over the country to teach politicians some kind of economics.
Yeah. It's a similar topic. So I think, what I learned over time because of that, I think what I learned is that the major task of the project manager is to be a translator between bubbles of knowledge, So be it the end user trying to run a SAP system and the developer and the tester and whatever. So translating is our business, I think.
Maybe I will try to make another analogy. For these three concepts of what to defer, what to optimize by, and what to constrain. Whenever I was talking with my boss, I asked him, what type of restaurant are we building? Because I'm working in Mercedes-Benz Insurance. Insurance is not core business of Mercedes-Benz. It's just a side hustle. And when they told us now it's good what you've built, but you have to build a scalable solution, that was my first question: what type of restaurant are we building? Because they said you have to build state of art, but both McDonald's and some 6 Michelin star restaurant are state of art in a very different dimension. They're both best at certain very different ways of serving customers. McDonald's is best at predictable quality, cheap price, fast delivery. And almost nobody can compete with McDonald's on these 3 dimensions. They are not playing around with the food, but wherever you go in the world, if you buy a hamburger from McDonald's, you are going to meet your taste expectations, and this is state of art. The other type of restaurant, the Michelin star restaurant, has completely different setup. And if you build a kitchen which tries to serve both restaurants, you will fail. And when you talk to your architect or your civil engineer or your construction engineer, how we should build now this kitchen, you have to first understand what is our core competency, where we have to be best in the world, what is our function of optimization. And once we know those functions of optimizations, we also have to understand what is the threshold of different dimensions that we cannot go below. So in the Michelin restaurant, is it okay to be late, half an hour late with half an hour between order and delivery? It's completely okay. But it's not okay after an hour and 15 minutes. So you have to know your thresholds for each dimension of your work. You have to measure them. And then you have to create a visual way how to communicate this to the whole organization. So maybe this is simply put summary of what I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you a lot, Stefan. Maybe we are now with the time. If you want to say something more about this presentation, 5 minutes more, or we can continue with our feedback.
Yeah, just I'm really happy and eager to share more and exchange with you. So please connect with me on LinkedIn. Let's talk. Ask me questions. I really want to build a framework out of this because it helped me a lot, and I want to help other people. And yeah, please give me feedback as deep as possible, because that helps me grow, that helps me learn, and that helps me improve. Thanks a lot.
Thank you also. It was a lot of things that we hear tonight, but I believe also it was one interactive session. So I will now continue. Okay, and we would like to receive some feedback from you related to this presentation. If you have just a little time you can scan this code, or I can send you also a link in chat so you can. It is here. And of course, I would send you a code related to this. And if you, in next 5 minutes, maybe you can give us some feedback to have some results related to this presentation. During that time, I would like to tell you about our next events. On 5th of November, we will have our online session, AI in Action, Redefining the Future of Project and Program Management with Markus Kopko. Then on 19th of November, we will have also online session with Easy Software, AI and Automation in Projects and Daily Work. And then on 27th of November, we have our 37th roundtable in Darmstadt in Karlsruhe restaurant. And on 3rd of December, we will have online event, Think Before You Build, the strategic role of development in project success. If you are interested in more events, you can visit our website and be more informed. So I'm not sure, did we receive, yes, we have some results. So I will share with you in email about this feedback. And I would like to invite everyone who wants to join our mission, who wants to join our volunteers team, Darmstadt, or some other. At the end, our PDU code is given here, so you can use it. And I would like all to thank you for your time tonight. If anyone have to say something more. Maybe
just give a clap of hands to Almira, who really
Yeah,
did
thank you very much.
manage it. You know, it's always
Thank you.
very challenging to manage something for the first time, and
Yes.
it is. And although my kudos to Stefan, who presented his topic here, and you know, it's also let me say the LGDA meetings. We have 2 webinars every month, and in my view, you know, there is a little bit experimentation necessary to grow and to understand and to learn. And thanks that you were our big key. How is this? No, Eichhörnchen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you also to my team, especially to Ola and Thomas, who were tonight with me and helped in this. And I'm very, of course, happy to be a part of this team.
And we are happy that you are here, Almira.
Okay.
And really, you know, both Olya and Almira bring in the industry of construction, building managers, and as you know, these are really project managers that have been often overlooked within PMI. No longer, you know. Now you are a key part of it, as you have been for 3,000 years.
Okay, maybe I can share this my screen with you if you want to see result or to send per email. about this?
Both if you want.
Okay.
Maybe we
Okay,
can pause the
so-
recording already.
Okay. And thank you a lot, Stefan, for this presentation tonight. It was a lot of
Thank
things,
you a
but
lot
I
for
enjoyed
the-
really.
Thank you a lot for the organization. Thank you a lot for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Okay. So I will stop recording at this moment.